You're watching Lansdowne Raw, the voice of the fans, and this is a squad reaction show. We sent Conor McAvoy, rep trucker himself, off to Dublin today to catch up with Heimer Hallgrimsson as he announced his squad for the massive game just a week away in Czechia when Ireland take on Czechia in the World Cup semi-final playoff. There you go, Conor. Not a bad intro. How are you? Your big trip off to Dublin today, and you're back and you're ready to give us the lowdown on having your little afternoon chat with Heimer. And most importantly, the excitement's building for Ireland's squad, of course. How are you getting on? Big day?
I'm flying. Yeah, it was great day. It was enjoyable now presser. A lot of obviously breaking news. Good to have the under 21s as well, presser on as well, and going through the senior team. A few surprises. I think a few names that I'm glad to see involved again. So yeah, I think I'm happy with how the days went. Really positive. It really started to kick in that this week is finally upon us. 7 days to go until we play them. And like the thing is, it feels like we've kind of been in a thing of euphoria for the last what's it, 4 months, waiting and just waiting. But it's like felt like that feeling we just want it to last forever, and very quickly that feeling can go to ecstasy. Next Thursday night. So yeah, I'm starting to get a bit nervous now, but yeah, it's glad
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
glad this I'm glad it's finally upon us.
It is certainly the excitement is building, and this is where you have to be following Lansdowne Raw. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel, of course, and also check out our fantastic partners. We've got Travel involved with us now, a brilliant travel company who prioritize trips to Premier League, Champions League. If you want to go on that dream trip to golf anywhere around the world, they are the go-to company for that. Travel. Check them out. The notes in the show, they will let you know how you can book trips with them. And of course, we've got Slattery's of Beggars Bush, the home of the match day pint. We're involved again with them. We're looking forward to there, of course, on the 31st of March, the Tuesday, which we are very confident this is going to be the playoff final against Denmark or North Macedonia. But brilliant to have both companies involved with us again at Lansdowne Raw. But yeah, this is it now, kind of for me. The excitement's building today. Watching the FAI YouTube channel where they went through the squad announcement with Heimer, a few little surprise moments, of course, which we'll get onto. But yeah, look, the expectation is building now, and I get that little bit for your feeling of nervousness. I am too, because it's a week away. People are getting a little bit anxious now who have been lucky to secure those 1,024 tickets from the FAI. We're getting a bit anxious now, waiting to get those actually through the email, I suppose. And then we're off on Thursday morning. Well, I am. You're going to be, I think, going over there Wednesday. But it's just the match day build-ups there now, and that's why you have to be following Lansdowne Raw to get all the content that we're going to be providing. So, Conor, up in Dublin, it was a good little setup, wasn't it? There was only a few
Yeah.
leaks, of course, and I know that hasn't really gone down fantastically well, but
QPR. Deck Finnegan,
QPR,
it's all your
yeah,
fault.
it's
Deck, what
Deck
did you do
Finnegan.
last night? Send Deck, if Deck's watching. If he didn't send me that last night, the thing wouldn't have went up into, because people wouldn't have noticed. Like they wouldn't have noticed it until, in fairness, it would have been like 11 o'clock this morning, so it would have
Mm,
been leaked like an hour early. But because it came last night. But fair play to you, Deck is on the ball. He misses nothing. People are probably
that's it.
thinking, what am I doing looking at QPR's website? But it was good man Deck. Deck sent me
Yeah,
that.
no, I mean it was important, wasn't it? And this was obviously the announcement that QPR kind of let it slip, didn't they? Cut out of the bag. But Harvey
Yeah.
Vale, who obviously switched allegiance last
Yeah.
week, he's eligible obviously for the Republic of Ireland now. Former captain with England, of course, and did a really good interview, to be honest, with QPR,
Yeah.
just talking about how he has obviously had this
Will we leave
opportunity.
him till we go through the we'll go through the
We will, of
squad
course,
first,
yeah.
right?
But I thought it was
Yeah.
very good, and that was just some of the little speculation
Yeah.
that did obviously drip through, which I didn't go down fantastically well in some quarters, of course. But no, here we go. We're going to get into the squad straight away, and yeah, some notable people involved here and some notable omissions. But this is it: the Ireland squad that are going to qualify us for the World Cup, and it's Guivin Kelleher, of course, in goal. Mark Travers and Josh Keeley. That's your three goalkeepers. No Gavin Bazuna there, of course, or Max O'Leary. We've got Nathan Collins, Jake O'Brien, Seamus Coleman, Darrow O'Shea, Jimmy Dunn, Ryan Manning, Liam Scales, John Egan, James Abanqua, and Jimmy Dunn, all named as defenders. In the midfield, you've got Jack Taylor, Alan Brown, Finn Azaz, Harvey Vale, Boston Lowell, Jason Knight, Jason Malumbi, and the 5 centre forwards in contention, of course. Troy Parrott, Adam Eder, Johnny Kenny, Chidozie Ogbeni, and Sammy Szmodic. So a very interesting squad. It's prompted a lot of debate and chat, which is brilliant because it's the engagement with Irish football that we all want and it's excitement building up. But yeah, you were up in Dublin, Conor, and you got to have a few questions to the main man himself. But what's your thoughts initially on that squad?
Yeah, I think it was probably to start with the goalkeepers. We work way
Yeah,
through it because there's probably a lot to speak about in all
yeah, there is. Yeah,
context. But yeah, the keepers, Kelleher as expected, Mark Travers as expected, and then Josh Keeley's the third choice coming in this camp. We know Gavin Bazunu unfortunately had a setback with his thigh injury last week in training, so he won't be back after international break. Max O'Leary picked up an ankle knock last weekend. We don't know how serious he is, but he's obviously missed out in this camp. I don't know if he would have been fit or not, and they've just went with Josh instead, which personally I would have done if I was picking the team. He's just younger, higher ceiling, makes more sense long term. But yeah, Holly 100% deserved call up for Josh Keeley. He's been brilliant for Luton this season. Probably their shining light in a season that they would have expected to get automatic promotion straight back up to Championship after what happened to him last season, only in the Premier League 2 years ago, and he's been one of their shining lights. And without him in goals, like they would be nowhere near even being in a playoff fight. And yeah, it's well deserved for Josh Keeley. Hopefully, it's like the second of many because he was obviously picked in June 2025 for that camp against Senegal, Luxembourg. He didn't play then. He won't play now unless we lose the first game, but he could make his debut in the second game, considering if we lose to the Czech Republic, as Hamer said, that if the squad could be changed a lot if we don't win the first game. But yeah, fully deserved and delighted for Josh Keeley to get added to the squad. And yeah, the other two is as expected.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. Obviously, Heimer saying that, and I thought the press conference quite interesting as well. I mean, he went through a lot of praising of Czechia and what they're going to offer and things like that. I thought his presentation style was quite interesting. But yeah, he actually went on and said, if it does go wrong in the first game, he's going to look at that. And obviously, they did announce today, didn't they, that they've got a couple of games planned in this camp, in the summer camp. It's going to be taking place in Spain in May, where it won't be real Championship players or Premier League players because they're all going to still be in
Will be Championship players.
Championship players, sorry, they will be, but not anyone who's going to be in the further rounds of the FA Cup. So
no, the playoffs, Egypt.
Playoff, I mean, sorry, not. I know the FA Cup finals that day, though, isn't it? That's what.
That's all you care about, you English so and so. But yeah, it's anyone who's in the playoffs won't be involved. But
yeah, playoffs is what I meant. And obviously, English Cup final, it's the same day. But yeah, he did announce they're going to have those games, didn't he? And yeah, so that'll be interesting though to see how they do use those development wise, I suppose. Onto the defenders then, Conor. Any notable ones in there? I mean, Abankwah coming up from the under-21s, that stood out for me.
Yeah, obviously, the likes of Collins, O'Brien's, Coleman, O'Shea, Dunn, Manning, Scales, Egan were all involved last time. And weren't expecting, actually, this has jumped in twice instead of Robbie Brady. But yeah, obviously the two coming in are Robbie Brady and James Abankwah. I'm pleasantly surprised James Abankwah's been called up, to be honest, Martin. I thought it probably would have been better leaving him with the 21s as he was captaining them, continue to captain them. I'm probably more surprised the fact that Andrew Omobamidele has been left out for Abankwah because Omobamidele's doing it for Strasbourg week in, week out now. Hamer has sung his praises actually on how well he's done lately, so I'm surprised he hasn't gone with him. But Abankwah offers probably more versatility as he's played a lot of right centre back, left centre back, right back. Could play right wing back if needed as well, or you could probably even throw him left back if you really wanted to. So maybe that's probably what's giving him the edge over Omobamidele. Probably won't do any Omobamidele any harm having those couple of weeks off to just. I know he'll still be training stuff with Strasbourg, but just to reset and make sure his body is 100% again. Because if he plays between now and the end of the season every game and Strasbourg finish the season strong, win the Conference League, maybe he'll probably get his place for the World Cup. But yeah, I'm delighted for James Abankwah. He's a brilliant centre half. He's gone really under radar with Watford at the moment because I think it was last year we all kind of stood up and noticed what he was doing with them, probably because he was kind of the fresh kid on the block. And then this year, probably because he's not the new shiny toy anymore, everyone kind of forgets about him, but he's been brilliant again for Watford. Such a good ball carrier coming out of defence. 1v1, he's excellent. And he's brilliant with the ball at his feet. So he offers something that we probably don't have really, with that sort of centre back that can drive out from the back three like that. But he probably won't play at any part unless we lose the semi final. But yeah, he's another great addition to have, and it's surprising more than anything that he's come in, because it's another championship centre half, and it's probably a bit disappointing for Jim Crawford to lose his captain to the senior team this window, when he probably doesn't expect him to play at all for the seniors. But as Hamer has said, that he doesn't pick someone unless he thinks they're good enough to play for the 21s. It's not just to call them up for the sake of it. So he must think that James can play a part if needed, which is good. What is your opinions on? And obviously Robbie Brady coming back in, no surprise over. Sorry, Mr. Callum O'Dowd was not getting in over him, and Kevin O'Toole obviously drops out for Robbie Brady. But a lot of competition.
Yeah, a lot of competition. There's a problem side, of course, the left side. But yeah, Robbie brings great depth of experience. I'm happy John Egan's back in there. Seamus Coleman, of course, as well. And it's kind of what we wanted to see. I think Jimmy Dunn is going to be a real kind of also a leader around that squad. I know he can obviously play and everything, but I think he's brilliant on and off the pitch when I've seen him there doing that. And I think we'll come on and chat about his influence a little bit later. But it's what we expected. I think a Banquet for me, yeah, is a surprise just because obviously the under 21s are there as well. But I know Jim Crawford does see it as, he doesn't really mind losing players in a sense when that's his job. Basically, he's trying to get them there. But he will end up going back to the under 21s at some stage, of course, because he can. But yeah, it'll be a brilliant experience for him and a chance for him to prove himself as well. But Robbie Brady, I think, will offer something a little bit as well. And yeah, it's just crazy like that. I'm just hoping they all stay fit as well. Omar Bamadelli, I can understand it in a way. I think he'll be very disappointed though, because he has had that run of games as we've covered obviously in our live shows, and we've been going through Obig. But yeah, it is what I think, and I think this certainly spells the end now for Matt Doherty. I don't think you'll see him back with Ireland again. So yeah, it's and
we got no just on like lads that left out, like Anselmo Garcia, McNulty. It's not in. Maybe I thought when I'm thinking of Banquet bringing it, maybe Cashin maybe might feel a bit hard done by, not because like a Banquet's just like obviously is good and is more versatile maybe than Cashin is. Although Cashin can play left back, but I thought maybe because he's a left-footed option, Scales can't play the first game, so maybe someone like Cashin might feel they could. But it shows there's not very little between, and a really good run between now and the end of the season could get him maybe in there as a left-sided centre half. But yeah, I like Doherty. I think like no one even like he's that far off people's head. No one asked about him on the live, and then I asked someone, not to give it away from was he asked in like the dailies section or Sundays, and no one had brought him up to him or in that. So like I don't think he would have retired from Ireland yet, because he will be on standby. And I think if called up, in fairness, Doherty's never turned down a call up. And I think if he's asked to come in, can he come into the squad late? I think he will do so. But I think if we lose the first game, we won't see Matt Doherty in an Ireland shirt again. I think Matt Doherty will just kind of, if we qualify, may see him possibly the World Cup if injuries, or he starts to have a really good run with Wolves. But if we lose either of these games, I think he's done in an Ireland shirt, because he has said it that if we don't get to the World Cup, he's probably done. So yeah, obviously it's never nice to kind of your retiring out of your control, if you get me, because he's kind of been dropped. But I guess it's just the way we are at the moment, and lads are ahead of him, and rightfully so. Really, they're playing regularly at a higher level, not a higher level, like kind of a similar-ish level with Wolves, or a League Two team watching them sometimes. But yeah, I'm happy with that defence. You have said your part.
Yeah, I think it's solid enough. I think it's where we're actually probably, it's quite a strong position for us, really. We've got a number of players who are very adaptable and versatile there, so that's quite good. Right, midfielders, we've got Jason Malumbi, Boston Lowell, Jack Taylor, Alan Brown is back in, Jason Knight, Finn Azaz, and Harvey Vale, obviously coming into his first Irish international senior men's squad, of course. Well, Ireland squad ever. And well done, Jimmy Dunn. We've learned, obviously, from that QPR video earlier that he was the secret agent doing the work in the background there with Heimer.
I wouldn't say that. I know Mark O'Toole has been working on this one a number of years. The work himself and Frank Devine doing England with the scouting team and doing things behind the scenes is never going to be probably rewarded for all the work they do. So it's great that someone like that, those two and other lads behind the scenes in the FAI who've kind of put work in behind, kind of things like their hard work has paid off when a lad like this decides to play for Ireland. And his in fairness, if you haven't seen his interview, it's on the QPR's YouTube. Very good listen. speaking about how proud he is that he's got the call up about his granda, how long his granda has been pushing him to play for Ireland and how he should be playing for Ireland, and even his girlfriend's grandparents are Irish as well, so it's been kind of bought into him really that he should be playing for Ireland. So it's good to see him make the switch. And this happened. I know it's been on the cards for quite a while, even before him or spoke to him, and at least obviously Jimmy Dunn being involved will probably help just push that forward even more. And at least Veal knows he's coming into a good camp, and he's not alienated from everyone else when he knows Jimmy Dunn when he's already coming in. But yeah, great addition to squad. He said he sees him more as a central player rather than a wide player, although he can play wide as well. I think he'll probably end up playing more wide at the moment for us than he will do play central. I don't know if he'll see him as a number 6 option. I don't think so. But yeah, it's good to see him in. I think he's a big addition. Alan Brown obviously comes back in after a long exodus from the side. Was it
18
Greece
months
at
near enough, wasn't
home?
it?
Yeah, Greece at
Yeah.
home, I think was the last time he played. And he made a few silly comments, I think, after the game, which was very even pissed me off. Like, and I usually would like to take a player's back, but there were ridiculous comments to make. But he's got himself back in. He's been brilliant for Middlesbrough. The way I see it, when I know we'll get to the forwards and stuff, like we haven't picked a lot of wide options at all. So I think he might be looked more as a right wing back / right midfield option, because being honest with you, I don't think he's good enough centrally. I don't think he offers enough on the ball. I think some of his best attributes are making these late runs into the box, getting in behind the defence, or coming late on the crosses. And we play with 2 number 6s, and he's not going to get that if he's told to sit in midfield. So I think it is good to have him back in. He's deserved a call up, and fair play to him. He's been brilliant for Middlesbrough, but not in the middle of the park is probably worth emphasising. Jason Knight comes back in after obviously injury. He was expected to come back in. And as Heimer refers to Malumbi, I think he calls him Mad Malumbi, is there, and he'll be our one of midfielders in the middle of the park. And then I think the only other obviously Jack Taylor keeps his place. And then the big addition to the squad, which I've been saying for so long, he'll be picked no matter what. Boss Noel is back. King Boss is back. I was getting a bit sick on Twitter a while ago for saying, "Oh, how could you say he's never been captain? He won't play before the window one." Guess who was right again? Don't doubt me. I need to get a T-shirt with "Don't doubt me" on it, because I was right. I've told everyone how highly he's rated by everyone in the FAI, everyone by Hamer, and I do pick the squad. If people didn't realize, I pick the squad for every camp. And Boston is back. He's an unbelievable player. I've said it before. He's a Premier League player in waiting. And I asked him about it earlier about what he sees, and my eyes, Martin, he's going to start next week. I have it now in my head after the way Hamer spoke. He's like he said, like, because obviously he hasn't played in 4 weeks or 5 weeks. He'll play tomorrow. He'll play Preston, but he won't start. Like, he'll come on off the bench, and it'll be his first minutes in a while. But no, he's back like near 100%. Obviously, it's impossible to get match sharpness, but he didn't miss a huge amount of time. But from the way Heimer was speaking about him, that he could possibly really start him as a real option to start him. He said he's been in there before. He knows they want to play the way they want to play. His physicality, his size, his attributes match up really well to the Czechia team, and we need that against the likes of Thomas Souček in the middle of the park for them. So I think he's going to end up starting. Martin, I have it now in my head that it's going to be himself and Malumbi in the middle of the park, because Conor Coventry has been left out, who a lot of us thought he could be a definite option to come in and even not just make the squad start. And now he's been left out for Boston. And I think not just left out for Boston, but it's left out for Boston a while that hasn't played football in 4 or 5 weeks. Has missed a lot of time and hasn't played a huge amount of minutes in midfield at all in 2026 because of injuries at Stoke. He's played a lot at wing back and full back, and it shows how highly he's thought of. I know it's kind of the Josh Cullen situation doesn't help, and you kind of have to shoehorn someone back into that role. But the way I've looked at it, the way I think he's going to start next Thursday, I think I made the prediction that he'd be in the squad. I told everyone he'd be in it. A lot of people, I think a lot of predicted squads and people had him missing out. I think he's just too good to. That's the reality, Martin. He's just too good to leave him out. He's an unbelievable talent. He has so much footballing ability on and off the ball. So I think he's going to end up starting. I didn't we said it and we were doing our predicted things last week and stuff, and I didn't think it was going to be an option to start him on his international debut. But I think this is what all roads lead to Boston Noel starting in Prague next Thursday.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably die on that sword with you. I think yeah, I'm convinced as well. I think this is a player that we've heard about for a long time. This has kind of been the plan. He's the future of our midfield. I think. When the squad was announced today, people were quite critical, I think, of our midfield going, oh, we've got no options there. It's because I don't think everybody knows some of these players. And also I know it's a massive high risk in a sense that, you're putting them into this one of the biggest games in Irish football history, basically. Um, and which would be his debut. But, he's played there before. He will be fearless. Physically, he is going to be fine. And I think it's just that circumstances have meant that he hasn't had that opportunity before. He's been in a lot of squads. He came in late in June 2025 to that squad,
Mhm.
didn't play in Luxembourg. He was in other squads as well, and then had to pull out and not given that kind of first cap to maybe, have that off his back in a sense. But I
Yeah.
think they've been counting on him. They've been waiting, going, whatever happens, he comes in. He will be there. If we can get him fit, he's going to be so important, which is crazy in a sense. I think a lot of Ireland fans he won't be on the radar for a lot of them, of understanding what he might bring to Ireland in that midfield. And yeah, circumstances have dictated as well that, obviously Cullen out is putting probably a little bit more pressure on him, but I don't think he's going to be phased by that. I think this is the one, I think, and I love the fact that Heimer's talking about Malumbi. I think he's one player that we can absolutely trust, I think now. Um, that he can come in. He's going to be. I think I'd be a little bit more worried if we were missing him as well. I mean, Cullen is going to be a loss because I think they were going to be quite a nice partnership there. But yeah, I really hope Boston is trusted and given that opportunity, and that's why I'll be looking at this week now. We'll obviously be covering it when the lads get into the camp this week. Let's see what's being said. Let's see the video footage, what's going on in training, because I think it could all be focused around him as well in that centre midfield. Other thoughts? I mean, Jack Taylor, we know what he's going to bring to it. Alan Brown, yeah, I can see it like you said there. I think he can operate on that right. He's quite versatile as well. He can pop up with a goal as well. One set pieces is all right at. Did he say anything more about Finn Azaz? Was there any mention about him?
No, there was no mention. Like,
Because we know what we're getting, don't we?
Yeah, we know what we're getting. Our best creative player. Yeah, and I kind of put him in a different bracket to those, because the reality is we play with those wide players, and not wingers. And he's kind of a part of that. He's not a midfielder. And like, he's not what he is. Obviously, he is a midfielder naturally, but like the way we play, he's not considered one of those midfield options. And yeah, he's our main man in that position, so I wouldn't worry about him being spoken about. It's more the lads maybe that didn't get us in that role. Maybe like Jamie McGrath missing out. Obviously, Andrew Moore isn't involved, but that's no surprise. We kind of expected Andrew Moore not to be involved after not playing for so long. Jimmy McGrath has been brilliant. Maybe he feels hard done by, but I don't know where he fits in. Like other lads. And Conor Coventry probably will feel very, very aggrieved to not make it in this squad after making his debut. And he'll probably look at the likes of Boston a while and saying, well, he hasn't played in ages and not playing in midfield, and you're picking him over me. But I think it's just Boston's too good to leave out. And Conor Coventry came out of the team for quite a while for Charlton, didn't he? And I know he's back playing recently. He's played a lot of minutes recently. But yeah, that midfield, obviously Joe Hodge could have been an option there, but they weren't really going to bring him in. I'd have been out of the picture for so long, and Tondela aren't necessarily flying in the Portuguese league, although he's doing quite well at the moment. So, yeah, I don't think there's a huge amount of options that could have really come into it. Obviously, even like Dawson Devoy in the League of Ireland, but like they're not going to pick League of Ireland. And obviously, Jack Moylan's getting I see a lot of Lincoln fans are very pissed off online that he's not been picked. But unfortunately, League One players aren't really considered at all. I know we'll speak about Johnny Kenny, but League One players aren't really considered. I think it's too low of a level to compare to international football. Like, because when he gets the championship next season, it is a huge step up. Although we do think he will adapt to it very well, it is still a huge step up.
Yeah, of course. And Cousin Will, of course, he didn't get in, but it's just a bit too late for him, wasn't it? Really?
I forgot about him. Yeah, but he wasn't.
Yeah. No, too late.
I don't think it was just too late. As you said, it's too late.
It's crazy about thinking though, like talking just back to the defenders there, you think like Mark McGuinness played at Wembley.
Oh, you always bring up bringing him up.
But I'm bringing him
because he's from London and he's Irish.
It's not that. No, it's not that. I was just thinking, it is crazy though. Like it just shows you, at that time you must be thinking, wow, I'm playing at Wembley for Ireland, and then just gone off the face of the earth.
It's mad. Like even like we spoke about the ones are Boston they brought. I know Mark. This is another just huge level, but Mark McGuinness has played once for Ireland and he played 90 minutes at Wembley. Like he was brought in for. I know it's easier kind of saying, well, he played as a right centre back in a back five. You're not playing in the middle of the park, but he done quite well. That actually, I know we lost 5-0, like, but like he actually was all right. He didn't. I wouldn't say
Mm,
he was one of our faults. He was kind of we came out and be like, oh, he's a good addition to the senior squad. But
yeah.
um, yeah, he's it's like, but he's like, there's a lot of lads that kind of were on the periphery that will feel a bit hard done by to probably be left out. But yeah, I think the main thing for me there is he's went with Boston and he's stuck by his guns, picking our
Mm,
most talented midfielder, and all credit to him. No wonder he got a new contract.
yep. Right, and then honestly, finally onto the forwards. Then Troy Parrott, Adam Eder, Johnny Kenny, Chidozie Ogbenny, and Sammy Smollett. Of course, no Mikey Johnson and Evan Ferguson are both out injured, of course. But no Sinclair Armstrong. But yeah, the forwards. Adam Eder has obviously declared himself fit, but he hasn't played for quite a while, has he? And we know Ogbenny's kind of woes on loan with Sheffield United, not playing an awful lot. Sammy Smollett, is that a big surprise coming back in?
No, it's not because he met up with him, and that's not really a
Yeah.
surprise. I know there's been a lot of welcomes back, Sammy. I think with open arms.
Oh yeah, of
He's
course, yeah.
back in the squad. He can offer us something different. He's a brilliant finisher. And yeah, it's probably a good time to get his first goal for the country. He won't start. Like, I don't know where he would fit in if he was starting. Unless they took out Bennett's place, which would be completely strange, and I think the
Mm,
wrong thing to do if he did. But yeah, I don't see Sammy Smolik starting like wing. We've gone very quiet, like in terms of the wing options. We've not gone for much at all. Like kind of that left number 10 that we play with is probably Zaz with Smolik as backup. And then on the right hand side you have a kind of a Bene with Brown as his backup. That's it. Unless you play Smolik
mm,
there as well. And like it's strange. Like the likes of Mark Sykes hasn't been picked, who's playing a lot. Casey McAteer hasn't been picked, and then the big one obviously is Festi's been left out. I'm very
yeah.
surprised by that. He obviously can't play the first game through suspension, but Liam Scales is the same, and he's been left out. Like it's not even a thing. Oh, you join up after if we
Mm,
win. So Festi's been left out. Like, and I know he's not played a huge amount of minutes lately for Istanbul Başakşehir, but like he's been a key player throughout this qualifying window, and he is a key player to Ireland. And to leave him out like this is very surprising, Martin. I'm very surprised to see him out. And like even like I think someone like Melenik Ali could have been a good option to bring in with Mikey Johnson out and a different style of winger. But yeah, I think a few of them lads will probably feel a bit surprised by the wing. I don't know what do you think of the wide options?
No, certainly with Festi, especially with Johnson out. I do think that, and and Chio, he has had injury problems as well. Can he do the two games? I mean, Casey McAtee. It just seems to me he's kind of looking at this a bit kind of strategically as you would do, but it's just very. I think on paper, the way we may set out with this is that we're just going to be very, very hard to break down, and it's not. It's not like thinking about our attacking threat and the pace and things like that, get at them or anything like that. I don't think. With like Michael Johnson being out and stuff. I mean, I know Benet brings that a little bit, but it's it's a very kind of practical squad in a way. But I've got no worries with the strikers. I think
Yeah.
it's what I always praise the FAI with their the media output of their little clips and videos and stuff. It's been brilliant watching back some of the goals we've scored this year, and I'd kind of recommend everyone do it, especially when they get into the mood of looking forward to the games. But like Adam Eder's got some incredibly important goals for us, and even going back to like Troy Parrott's last minute goal, wasn't it? Again, early on in the friendly, wasn't it? So he scored, didn't he? From the one outside the box. So they're brilliant highlights and stuff. And I think Adam Eder, though, I think a couple of things really on the forwards. Adam Eder, I think he may have a big part to play there. We can have moments. Troy Parrott's had that moment. We hope it continues again. But I think Sammy Schmodix, I would hope all Ireland fans are going to get behind him. Trust that Heimer's selected him. There's been lots of speculation about him, and even people say, "Oh, he won't be there. He'll pull out again." This is all just rumours, though, isn't it? It's nothing really concrete evidence of that. I know he's engaged with a number of fans in the past, but I think, I just want everyone. Again, that's probably a bit of a call to the nation in the sense. Just if you're going to go, get behind the lads because I think this is a fantastic group of footballers, and they've got a massive opportunity now. We've got two huge games and can't wait for it really, to be honest. And I'm quite confident any of them are going to not let us down. And I think looking at defence, really, really solid midfield. We know where we do have challenges, but this could be an opportunity for like the likes of Boston Lowell come in there and just cement his place, and everyone's going, we do have a midfield. We don't know what the worries about.
Yeah.
And then up front, Troy Parrott, as I said, just on fire. I mean, Johnny Kenny, I know you spoke earlier about the League One thing. I don't think it really applies to him. I think if it's just that move that he did. If he was playing at Celtic, it would be an absolute certainty to be in the squad. So I've no problem with him. And again, he almost had the moment, didn't he, in Hungary? So, I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. And I just hope everyone stays fit now. Did he mention anything about standby list? Anyone? He didn't name anybody on it, though, did he?
No. He didn't even he didn't say. He was asked about McGoldrick being on standby, and he kind of said, not really, kind of, because he had because he wasn't on a provisional list, and then obviously John O'Shea made a phone call to him just to see what his interest level would be. So maybe he would be. But I think it seems like probably Sinclair Armstrong would be ahead of him in terms of standby list, and maybe Tom Cannon, but Tom Cannon's really struggled like this year. So I'd say probably Sinclair is, and like Sinclair would probably feel very aggrieved to be left out as well, because he probably looks at Johnny Kenny playing in League One and thinking, I'm playing at a higher level, I should be in over him. But we can understand why Johnny Kenny's been picked. Like, he started well at Bolton, and he done well when he came on in November, which I think has given him a bit of credit in the bank and a bit of, if he would have struggled when he came on that day, or I think if we would have lost or drew that game and he missed that chance, we probably would be saying, oh, this is the guy that missed that chance. And I think swings around about, well, Johnny Kenny, that big chance, it was a great effort to keep him, made a great save. Once we'd lost that game, he would have been known as a guy, how did he miss that chance? But I'm glad for Johnny Kenny. He's deserved to keep his place for his performances. It would have been nice seeing Sinclair in the squad, but I can understand why he's not been picked. Obviously, Smodics can go as number 9 if needed. Adam Eade, it'll be interesting what his fitness levels are like. Swansea plays Saturday. He would probably get 20 minutes off the bench, 15 minutes off the bench. So he will get some minutes. And he has been training for like 10 days now, fully with the team. So he's been building up, and hopefully all goes well. Be interested in who would come in if one of the strikers go out. And I think if we lose the first game, I think the likes of Eade will probably go back to Swansea to stay with his team for the week. Parrott will probably go back to AZ, I think, and bring other lads in, and other strikers. Really, there's no one. I think it's more wingers that probably feel like this should have been included, but a lot of wingers kind of haven't done enough to get in the team. The likes of Jimmy McGrath is probably the only one that's probably done enough. You think it's done really well. It hasn't been in. I know Owen Elding, Jim Crawford said today that he's getting his citizenship next month. In April, mid-April, he has a ceremony. They have to do some stupid ceremony, like just give him the citizenship, and then he can get his passport then. So he'll be involved in June with the 21s or the senior squad if he continues to do really well, because he definitely would be an option for the seniors if he kept going at this trade. But yeah, and I was thinking there on the way home in the car, I was like, if we lose the first game, 100%, you'd be giving Josh Keeley a debut in the second game. You'd be calling up the likes of, I would be giving Jade Nume, I would be giving him his debut against North Macedonia at home. You'd imagine if we lost, I'd be bringing Andrew Moore into the team, and bringing Sinclair Armstrong into the team, and bringing the likes of Jack Moylan into the team. I'd be calling up lads that maybe even Dawson Devine into the squad. I'd probably ring the changes. Any lad that kind of had played in the first game, you can tell them to go back to their club and reassess. But the most important thing, obviously, is getting to a World Cup. But yeah, I think that it should. And he did mention there would be a few changes if we didn't win the first game, which I think would make total sense and what we should do if we don't win. But I have it in my head we're going to win, and we're on our way to a World Cup. But it's, and as he said, a lot of those teams have pressure on them that we're delighted to be in the playoffs. We're absolutely buzzing to be here. Whilst the likes of probably, he didn't name drop Denmark, but Denmark will be very annoyed to be even in this position. So we're in a positive stead really to be in this position. And I think I'm really looking forward to it. And the squad overall I'm really happy with, to be honest. I couldn't have asked for much more, because the 11, I think we could predict the starting 11 now already, but obviously it's too soon. But what do you like? Is there not? There's not really.
That'll be on a future show, of course, Conor. But look, if you are watching along here, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. But give us your comments as well on the video as well. Give us a like as well. That does help us out. But yeah, let us know what your thoughts are on the squad, and what we've had to say. Of course, do you think Boston Lowell will get his debut?
Martin, what can people get for heading to Prague next week?
They can also get our fantastic sticker collection, which is available from our Etsy shop. We will put the what is it? The
link is in the description.
In the description.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Okay. The link's in the description, and that's how you can buy them. But yeah, you want to get them in ordered now because close to selling out. Actually, I've got to do another reorder of those. So yeah, we want to get those out to you so you can bring them over to Prague and have them in Dublin
Yeah.
as well. We will bring some sets up, and we will
Mhm.
have them available as well. You can purchase them in person in Slattery's of Beggars Bush on that 31st of March when we take on the winners of North Macedonia or Denmark in the final that will qualify us for the World Cup. That's how positive I'm going to be about it. But Heimer,
Seems that
obviously,
way.
lots and lots of discussion today. And then he threw in the little mic drop moment, the little bomb at the end, and told everybody live on FAI YouTube's channel that he had extended his contract with the FAI. I mean, this was kind of, I went, wow, that's huge. Like when I was watching it, because I just thought, you know, a lot of people saying, oh, why have they done this? Why are they making such a move? Because next week we could be out of the World Cup and then we're stuck with a manager. But this shows fantastic faith, I think, in Heimer, and also the backroom staff and all his management support, of course. But the fact that he wants to obviously take the job as well um, is, I think, brilliant for Ireland as well. He spoke really, really well, I think, of his experience today, where he has seen the improvement with the kind of squad and the group. But yeah, just to drop that in was a massive surprise, wasn't it? It must have been a little bit of a exciting moment there in the Abbottstown, Conor, when that happened.
I think everyone was a bit shocked when it happened because I don't know. Tony obviously asked him. I'm guessing Tony done his RTE stuff with him before, and he may have said to him that he was doing that and it was planned. But I don't know. In the middle of a press conference, it was a bit mad. It was a bit random that it came out of nowhere like that. But yeah, and it's obviously it's only 2 year deal until the Euro 2028. Most managers kind of go on a 4 year deal, don't they? With these sort of sometimes it is
Mm,
fixed term. But yeah, I'm delighted for him. Or it's not just what he's doing on the pitch in terms of improved qualification record. Obviously not qualified yet, but like we've got to a playoffs for the first time in a long time. Um, it's the fact what he's doing off the pitch. Like we're playing Granada in May, and people are like, oh wow, but like it's an extra camp. He's really pushed for that to get these extra games in for Irish teams. Just have a look at the player pool because I know people talk about our squad's not good enough, and we have a lot of players at the same level, and we actually have a big player pool to pick from. We have a lot of players that we can look at and think, what can they offer? But they don't get the opportunity to do it because they don't have the platform, and they get the platform now in May to do so, even in June as well. And obviously, he'll look to do it probably again in December for like League of Ireland players and teams that have like a winter break. But yeah, I think like I would say I'm happy with it right now. Like, and obviously, if we lose 5-0 in Czechia next week, my mind might change on it slightly. But like, I think it was important. Like, this was obviously done weeks ago, or probably even months ago, and it just waited till now to announce it. Like, it was no people are like, oh, why you did this now? Why you did this now? Like, people act like the contract talks only started last week. Like, they've been going on for a long time. I'm guessing there's massive bonus incentives if we qualify and
mm.
stuff, and um I know a lot of people be split on it, but a lot of people, I think it's just good to we have clarity, and it's not going to end up being what it was before when Martin, as you remember well, with last year, what happened with the debacle when Mark Canham and Jonathan Hill were leading a managerial race, which ended up at Hamer Halgrimsson and ended up being an absolute mess. But it's obviously, we hope it'll work out in the end, with what is going on now. But yeah, yeah, what I'd say is I am happy with it, but I'll be absolutely delighted with it if we qualify for World Cup.
Yeah, I think it's clever from Heimer's people, agents, and this thing hasn't just happened this morning when he's walked into Abbottstown and they've said, "Yep, Heimer, do you want to stay on?" This has been well negotiated, I think, from all parties. I think it does give a real positive bounce into the game as well. That our manager's committed, and there's no speculation that he could be going out the door. He's not really fully committed. I think I've loved seeing him go around the League of Ireland. I was love seeing him see kind of grassroots football in Ireland as well, meeting kids and coaches and things like that. You're seeing lots of stuff on social media. I think he's really finally understood the job from when he first came in there, how big it is and how many people are behind Irish football. I think John O'Shea's done a fantastic job as well, probably getting that across to him. But yeah, now I think he's just so engaging as well. I think he's had a lot of challenges. I have been quite vocally critical. I think I think I said before the Hungary game, I think he's just going to be lucky, and we've been lucky. We've had the 3 home games with the send-ins off that have definitely impacted the games. We've had atrocious performances as well. I don't want to be too down on it because I want to be positive, but I think he's got a massive opportunity now. I think he's seen that tide turning. I saw, how he's engaged with the players in the changing room, and seen some brilliant footage from that. And I know you can buy into all that and get hyped away. Like I'm looking at like Liam Rossinha, who's just a big bluffer as far as I'm concerned. Not to go off on a tangent, but that's just nonsense. But I think you do have to have a really good man management profile, especially international football. And I think he's got that. So I'm actually really happy with this. I think it just brings a lot of noise and speculation away from the FAI that they're sticking with their man. Obviously, if we do unfortunately lose on Thursday and we get knocked out, it'll be the manner of it which will determine how critical people are of him. But I love this camp in May. I love the fact he's going to bring in players who are eligible, that he's been looking to see can he get them in, and he just hasn't been able to because of the structure of the Nations League and all the other challenges of trying to qualify for a World Cup. So I just think we've seen now with Harvey Vale moving, this is something that the FAI work on a lot behind the scenes. There's a lot of people doing a real good job for the FAI. Obviously, we can see people leaving the FAI as well because of obviously redundancies, the financial situation. This World Cup's massive. If we can qualify, it's only going to be a really good place to be. You're going to have people wanting to play for Ireland, and you've got a manager who understands that, and he's bringing them into a camp where they can show and lift their profile and show they want to be there for Ireland. Saying all that though, Conor, it could all go wrong. No one might want to turn up in May if it's real negative and everyone's hammering them and it's a real bit performance and check it. But no, I just think some of the senior pros you will have a bit of that, but but I think it's going to be determined by what happens obviously on Thursday.
I don't think that's going to be. I think it'll be considered like 2 different squads. Like I don't think those lads will be considered like if you're a season. Maybe it does if you're, but it depends. Like if you're. Say you're Jason Malumbi, he's probably a wrong example because he'd probably play for Ireland every day of the week if he could. Yeah. But if you're a lad that's probably 28, 29, 30, and you're finished early with the championship, you might think, we'll give them a couple of weeks off, or the player might think they're better off having a break and then going away with Ireland in the June camp, which is more considered the actual squad, because like if we don't qualify, I'm guessing the group that will go to away in May to Spain will be different to the group that goes to, say, plays Qatar in Dublin, and then goes to Montreal to play Canada. So, yeah, I think it isn't. Hamer's fairly clocking up the biles as Irish manager anyway, so he seems to be enjoying it anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm quite happy with it, and fair play to him, and I've loved the interviews and stuff and the enthusiasm he brings to it. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, look, we're going to have it all covered here on Lansdowne Raw, the whole build up now to this massive game. 2 games, seeing Ireland qualify for the World Cup. And Conor, let's not forget as well that we've got fantastic underage players coming through as well. You were there at Dublin this afternoon. You caught up with Jim Crawford for the under 21s. They're in action as well, let's not forget. So let's just have a quick look at their squad. So the Ireland under-21 squad list, but they've got their upcoming games in the Euro qualifiers against Moldova and Kazakhstan. Goalkeepers Conor Walsh, Aaron Maguire, and Noah Johnny. Defenders Sam Curtis, Corey O'Sullivan, Alex Murphy, David Akagbu, Cathal McCarthy, Gabriel Otugbayo, Conor McManus, I nearly said McAvoy, Romeo Akachakwu in midfield with Aaron Ochoa Maloney, Jacob Devaney, of course, on loan at the moment. From Man United, Jack Morehouse, Jamie Mullins, and Darius Lipsic. And forwards, Lipsic. Is it?
Lipsic.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Forwards, Michael Noonan, Adam Brennan, Jade Numa, Marco Mahoney, Tommy Lonergan, Trent Conor-Doherty, Sean Patton, and Leon Ayinde. So, Conor,
Marco Mahoney's he's injured.
You caught up with your bestie, Jim. Yeah. How was he?
He was Jim was in great form over the squad. Mark Manny obviously shouldn't be there. He isn't in the squad, but right. He's out injured at the moment. But yeah, goalkeepers are kind of as expected. The 3 that's been there all along. Defenders wise, obviously James Abankwah has dropped out due to calling up to the senior squad. Like Sean Grehan has also came out of the camp after he was out injured for a while and wasn't really playing for Doncaster and hasn't been in the squad since he's come back, so he's been left out. So we've seen like Sam Curtis come back. I think it's brilliant to see first capped at under 21 level, Martin, when he was 16. Was a
Mm.
key player in the last campaign. Remember, scored the massive winner away to Turkey and kind of had everyone hoping that we were going to qualify. And God knows how he still did, and I still don't know to this day. But yeah, he was brilliant, and he's had to go away out loan to Chesterfield at the moment, and doing really well and getting. I got back into it. Corey O'Sullivan, another fullback option, but on the opposite side at left back. Been brilliant for Shamrock Rovers this season and really last season as well. And he's finally getting his chance in the 21s, probably well deserved and overdue call up, probably many would say, at this level. So great to see Corey come in, a very good, talented left back, which is always a positive position. Alex Murphy obviously is in again, keeps his place as always. We have seen he got his debut between now and he actually didn't play at all in November, so it'll be about him getting his place in. And Conor McManus, that was actually very impressive, I thought, November against England away. I think he really should have got with a low move out of Brentford in January, but he's obviously highly thought of if he's still being picked as an under 21 player at club level. And then obviously other than that, David Akogbu keeps his place, one of the key centre halves. Cahill McCarthy doing really well at Hull City, really impressing everyone there. And he's done very well against Chelsea actually in the FA Cup, but hasn't played as much lately, but he's doing really well at Hull, another good centre half option. And then Gabriel Otagabeo at Sheffield Wednesday, playing week in, week out, 90 minutes every week for Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship, doing really, really well. It took a while to get back into 21s, and he's really earned this recall, and hopefully he can play a key part now because obviously he's had a tough season with Sheffield United in terms of results, or Wednesday in terms of results, losing almost every week. But yeah, he's one that's really improved as the season's gone on. Midfielders wise, Romeo Akinchukwu, who's out on loan at Colchester from Southampton, player I really, really rate. Technically, he's an unbelievable player. He's like but like Pogba. Sometimes when you watch him, the way he takes it in the half turn and drives forward with the ball, and yeah. Obviously, Colchester haven't given huge amount of minutes. He's playing every game, but not been starting every game. And they're playing him kind of off the left at times, which is such a waste of someone of that quality. Like he's too good for that level in general. Like he shouldn't be thrown out wide. Jack Morehouse keeps his place. Obviously, he left Leyton Orient in January to go back to United. Has been playing with the 21s. Has been on the bench for the first team, and he's a high potential player, really. So that's probably why he's been kept on, even though he's not playing first team football. Jamie Mullins, of course, player I love to watch to play. Probably the best player to watch in this team in terms of his football brain. The way he picks up the ball in the middle of the park and picks out passes, and he obviously scored that volley against Slovakia that everyone remembers. An unbelievable technical player. Jacob Devaney, last time he played for Ireland, well, I know that we forget about the Andorra game, but the England game, he was probably the best player on the pitch that day. He was my man of the match, an unbelievable number 6, excellent player, and he's doing really, really well now on loan at St Mirren. Scored a couple of goals, came out of the team for 2 games, and now he's back in the team. Is excellent again. Done really well against Rangers at the weekend, I thought, in a game that obviously they're going to be under a lot of pressure. Thought he was excellent in the middle of the park. And then other than that, Darius Lupicic is doing really, really well at Solihull Moors on loan from Stoke City. Scored plenty of goals from midfield, doing really well. Real aggressive midfielder, kind of a real like Malumbi type midfielder, like it's stuck into your face, and he's scoring goals as well. So he can do it from both ends. And the new name on the list, Aaron Ochoa. I know it was Aaron Ochoa Maloney, but he kind of go. I think it's a Spanish thing, isn't it? To put your mother's second name at the end. His mother's from Clare, I believe. So Aaron Ochoa is doing unbelievably well. The past what you'd say maybe 3 seasons with Malaga. Someone's annoying Martin in the background. First broke through as a 16-year-old in 3rd division. Now they're back in the 2nd division, and they're fighting at the top of the table. He's been basically every single game for them, doing really well. I know he got suspended and then he came out. Yes, he's had to earn his place back in the team. But yeah, he's doing really well under a new manager they've got there, and I think he's a player destined to play at a very high level. Technically, an unbelievable player, really, really good. Something different. Fans would love to watch him play. Can play out wide. Can play as like a number 10. Could probably play deeper if you really asked him to. But obviously, he's quite small. Real low center of gravity. I think he's a magnificent footballer. He's an unbelievable talent. A player I've been waiting for quite a while to get into 21s. I thought he would have been brought in sooner than this, but it's good. Sometimes you have to wait for these good things, and yeah, a really, really good addition to 21s, and I can't wait now to see him what he can produce, particularly against a team like Moldova, who will sit back for probably 90 minutes to try and hit us on the break, and we have someone like Aaron Ochoa that can make a difference in the final third. And then obviously onto the forwards. Michael Noonan back in from the 21s after missing out in November due to being at the Under-17 World Cup. Tommy Lonergan keeps his place. Mason Mealy, unfortunately, is out injured. Not injured, sorry. He's just not fit enough to come in yet. He's only back training with Spurs, 10 days. Hasn't played any matches for Spurs at any level yet, so they're carefully building him up and getting him ready to play. So there's no harm in him. Since Spurs, I thought he might have came in just to get some minutes in the legs again, but obviously Spurs thinks it's best he stays there, and there's no point with an underage player risking any of that. Trent
Mm.
Doherty, first time in since moving to Molde. Obviously he hasn't really played a huge amount. I know he's come off the bench every game he's been there, but we probably won't see a huge difference in him between now and November, which is good to have him though back in. Leon Adiende, another winger that was involved before. I remember he came on Turner's cross against Slovakia game. The first couple of things he did a really good ball, beat his man and put lovely balls in the box, and then tore his hamstring, which was very unlucky to see. And poor fella had no luck that day, even though he looks a real talent. He's out known at Bournemouth at the moment, and doing really well. Really highly rated player at Ipswich. And then other than that, it's a couple of new names. Adam Brennan, I would say probably the young player of the year in League of Ireland at the moment. Martin been absolutely superb for Shamrock Rovers since signing from UCD in the off season. We spoke about him loads, obviously, in the League of Ireland show. Such a dangerous attacker, has so much pace, has so much ability to go, whether go inside or go outside, can finish, can set up goals. He's probably been the surprise package really in the League of Ireland this year, because when you're coming from UCD to Rovers, trying to get into that squad, it's hard enough to never mind make the bench, never mind become a starter and be seen as one of their main men. So he's been brilliant and fully deserved his 21's call up. Great to see another League of Ireland player that's not just called up for the sake of it. He's really, really deserved it, and he will play a lot of minutes. Sean Patton, the striker at Reading, had a brilliant loan spell at Aldershot, scored 5 goals in 6 games, really, really well. Got recalled by Reading because of how well he done. They brought him back into the first team, made his first start in League One midweek, which shows how well he's done. Playing over Will Keane as a striker, which I know Will Keane's no great shakes, but as another 21 striker to come in and do that, it's a real achievement. And Sean Patton's really excelled since moving from Derry City over the water to Reading, and it's great to see him get his place in the Reading first team now, and he's really deserved this call up. And then obviously the name that probably most people are going to be excited about being called up this squad, Jade Nume. There's a clip that'll be going out in our channel tonight, and we will have the under 21 presser out on the channel. Jade Nume is just hands down one of the best underage players I've seen for Ireland. He really does have it all. Like, there's a compilation someone made of his performance yesterday against Inter Milan in the UEFA Youth League quarter final. Benfica won 3-2. He picked up an assist, an unbelievable assist. That ball in the box was unreal. I thought he was man of the match. He's one of those players on 1v1. You just don't want to give him get in his way. I put a tweet out, actually, I quoted that compilation. I said, give Jade Nume the ball and get the fuck out of his way. Just give him the ball and get out of his way. You don't even want your full back overlapping. Just give him the ball and get out of his way and let him go 1v1, because he's just unstoppable. He's an unbelievable talent. He's going to be, I think he'll probably come in and probably start straight away. If he doesn't start straight away, maybe bedding him in. But yeah, Jaden's he's a joy to watch. Has it all, and it's not the sort of thing that you're worried about the long term with him, because he has the size, he has the pace, he has the power, he has the technical ability. And yeah, hopefully it's a pity Franco's injured at the moment, because we would have seen the two Ume brothers in the squad, and possibly you could have one on one wing, one on the other, which would be quite an achievement for a family to do something like that. I'm guessing the chances of that happening are below 1%. Like, it's mental. But yeah, I'm delighted to see Jaden called up, and obviously it's a big loss in the 19s, but sometimes a lad you just have to fast track him through. Evan Ferguson never played under 19 level with Ireland. He went straight from 17s to 21s, so it happens sometimes a lot with players. And them two squads, I believe, could be out tomorrow. No, not 100% confirmed, but they could be out. They will be out, obviously, this weekend for their games in Scotland and Poland. We will probably go through them more, probably in our window preview on Monday night. But yeah, really strong 21 squad. A lot of talent in there. Obviously, it's a pity to lose the likes of a Banquan, Melia being out injured, but like the likes that you go to, the likes of Michael Noonan, Sean Patton as your backup strikers, and Tommy Lonergan. It's really exciting, and even the defenders that have come in doing really well. A couple of lads missed out. They've been doing well, like Cal Heffernan, Justin Freeside, Dara Patton at Sligo Rovers. It's really exciting that we can call upon these lads, and hopefully as the things go on, we'll see more lads come in, and these lads kind of shine. And like the likes of Moldova, at home, it should be a game that you see these lads kind of excel, especially in Tala, where it's on a bigger pitch than Turner's Cross and a better surface. And hopefully you hope the weather's good. It's a pity it's the same day as the seniors play. It's early in the day, but there's nothing Ireland could do. It's UEFA rules have put it at that time on that day. But yeah, and the thing is, 10 lads in this squad can still play for the 21s next campaign. The same with, if you added Melia, and that's 11. I think AK Arazi would definitely have been in this squad if he was, and that would have been 12 lads that probably would have been able to play next campaign that would have been in this squad. Like, so it's really, really exciting. Especially probably in the winger department with Ireland at the moment. We've a lot of very exciting. We spoke about the lack of them in the senior team, but now there's a huge amount about them coming through at underage level, which is really exciting.
And of course, just in relation to that, though, you do see like wingers kind of getting converted back to kind of fullbacks, don't you? You've seen O'Dowda, Brady go backwards. James McLean, of course, has done it as well. So it is, if you've got the strength and the way the modern wingers play now, and wing backs and fullbacks and all that kind of stuff, they get forward so much. It's incredible. But yeah, just a reminder, obviously, Ireland under-21s take on Moldova. It's going to be live on Virgin Media, but more importantly, it's live in person in Tala at 5 o'clock, 5:15 kickoff. So that's one you might want to catch before you rush home or rush to the pub. A good pub to go to, perhaps, is Slattery's or Beggar's Bush. You can probably get back there to catch that game, of course, when Ireland take on Czechia. And again, it's a shame that Ireland are under-21s. Again, their game will clash. Their away game to Kazakhstan it's actually it's earlier Irish time, 3 o'clock. So that might be a nice one just to build up for the day for the final when Ireland will be qualifying for the World Cup. But yeah,
look, to watch that live, yeah.
Fantastic round up there, Conor, because it just shows us this massive talent coming through from these young lads.
And obviously, as I said, the presser will be live on our channel tonight. There'll be clips going out as well of it. But yeah, it's really, obviously, Jim spoke about the likes of Owen Elding. We haven't mentioned on him. He would have been another addition, but maybe obviously spoke with senior. Oh, he did speak about his citizenship, but it was Crawford who said about it that it will be done in April, which is good news to finally just put that behind us and move on and get him in the camp. And yeah, it's really exciting. Like the 19s will be named. The 17s will be named. The 19s play in Scotland in their preliminary qualifiers. They've changed it. It's basically under 18s, but they're calling it under 19s. It's ridiculous. And then under 17s have their elite rounds in Poland, where they have a chance to go into Euros and a World Cup if they top their group. So yeah, it's really exciting, Martin. And actually, just other news today is away from Dennis Serkin, Irish-born left back, has decided to join up with the Latvian national team. His parents are Latvian. He was born in Dublin. I did put the question. I think, as far as I'm aware, he's the only player ever to be born in Ireland that's actually good enough to represent Ireland at senior level or be in the conversation to represent Ireland that has gone and represented another nation. I can't think of anyone else ever. Martin, can you? All these lads, it's always been like, obviously, like Pico Lopez playing for Cape Verde, although he's a brilliant League of Ireland centre half. He's nowhere near like national team level for Ireland. Like Will Hundermack is now playing with Congo. Like I don't think there's ever been a lad that's actually ever been good enough born in Dublin. But I do believe back in the day when he was considering switching to Ireland, something happened behind the scenes that may have denounced his citizenship, may have struggled for him to ever come back and play for Ireland again, which should never have been allowed to happen. Someone fucked up somewhere down the line. I don't know who, but someone fucked up and may have stopped him ever representing Ireland. But I've never got that 100% confirmed if that was actually the case or not, but that's what I've heard. And usually when these things happen, have been mentioned, they probably are true. But yeah, it's probably another he's not like he's no Irish connection. Like he was just born here. Like I said, we still have loads of left backs coming through. Even in first team football at the moment, Joe Bagan's doing really well for Cardiff. Teo Daramola has been brilliant for Sheffield Wednesday. Sean Rowan is doing quite well at Huddersfield now again under the new gaffer. So yeah, we've enough options that we can trust ourselves. And I said Teo will be involved in May, and I think Joe Bagan probably will as well. Huddersfield will probably be in the playoffs. Sean Rowan will probably be eliminated from that, but because Sheffield Wednesday will be down, Cardiff will be top two in the in League One, so he'll probably be involved as well. But yeah, I'm going on a different subject here. But yeah, Serkin.
You just love talking about Irish eligible players so much, Conor, that we can't shut you up. Anyway, that is our fantastic squad announcement reaction show. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out our fantastic partners, Slattery's of Beggar's Bush and Travel-Igo as well. The link to do so is in the description of the show, of course. Fantastic partners that we've got on board. And this is where you've got to be now, because we are building up to 2 massive games for the Republic of Ireland. We want you to be with us. We're by the fans, for the fans. We love our interaction shows as well. We've got loads of stuff coming at you in the next week or so. So make sure you do get your notifications follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on absolutely all of them. Got some fantastic content, interviews coming. We love hearing from you. We'll have a live show very, very soon as well, where we'll go through your reaction, of course, to this squad. The lads are going to be meeting up as well, and then we're going to be chatting to all the Irish fans as we head off to Czechia for this amazing World Cup first semi-final playoff, of course. And we're going to be there, aren't we, Conor? We can't wait to get to Czechia and meet the Raw faithful in person. If you've got any comments or any questions to ask us, make sure you do reach out to us on social media. And of course, give a comment on this show as well. It does help us with all these algorithms and all that sort of thing. Conor, anything more for the Raw faithful this evening?
No, just subscribe, like the video, get your coasters in the link in the description below. Follow Rep Tracker, follow Lansdowne Roar on all social medias. Like the video, give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. Block Lansdowne Road on all platforms, because we don't know where Dave is. Also, other than that, what I was going to say is, make sure you're watching, because clips will be out very soon in the coming days. More clips coming, more videos. 21 Presser maybe out tonight or tomorrow. Maybe tonight. Maybe, I don't know yet, but it'll be out tonight. And then, just for Monday, we'll be back live on Monday. We'll be back with our lives on Monday and other stuff. Troy Parrot's playing in half an hour's time against Sparta Prague, and then we will be ready to go again.
Yep, of course. So this is where you've got to be. Lansdowne Raw. Come on, you boys in green.